Washington, D.C. has been bracing for severe budget cuts and changes, and today council took a swing at its first vote toward funding the city for the upcoming fiscal year. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley was at that hearing, and she breaks down what's been added and what's been taken away.
There were some major moves that council uprooted from the mayor's proposal. For example, there was no funding for upgrades to the Stadium Armory Metro Station, even though the city knows that it approved the new RFK deal that's going to open around 2030 and bring major crowds. Well, the council put money in for that. On top of that, council also added money for public safety. Using $150 million in our budget reserves. It's the Fiscal Stabilization Reserve. We're using that for operating on a one-year basis, a one-time basis. The chief financial officer is very concerned about that.
Council did not increase taxes. Council said the mayor's proposed budget would put families in a crisis with childcare, housing, and health care. This is what was changed. Council restored funding for the Early Childhood Pay Equity Fund to $72 million and eliminated the wait list for the child care subsidy program.
We've protected paid leave. We've restored funding for the Office of Attorney General. We've restored some funding for SETF and made really strong improvements in the healthcare space.
The mayor's budget included no new housing vouchers and did not include funding to the current vouchers. Council funded the current vouchers and added new ones.
The constraints were real, the choices were hard, and we had to fight for every single dollar. Through countless conversations, negotiations, and long hours, the council and staff have worked with stakeholders, advocates, and each other to reverse some of the most harmful proposed cuts and deliver a budget that reflects the needs of our residents by promoting affordability, stability, and opportunity.
Council members Janice Lewis-George, who is running for mayor, and Brianne Nadeau added $2.37 million to open recreation centers.
This budget year's shortfalls are critical for me and those we represent on this council because families are struggling to stay in the district.
Council also increased funding for public charter schools. On top of that, 20 schools will also see additional funding.
Here's the caveat. Council says this budget just makes the city even. It doesn't bring any progress or move the city forward because a lot of the programs were funded through a one-time situation. That means around this same time next year, they'll likely be in the same situation. For now, reporting from the Wilson Building, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.